Hi there, my name's Michelle. Welcome to my channel, Guided Metanoia. I am a certified holistic life coach, and I've been reading tarot since I was 13. And I'm a novice astrologer and still ever learning that particular process. I'm sure you can hear my dogs barking. This reading is for Scorpio. I went through my own personal journey of self-transformation beginning, I would say 2009, maybe even as early as 2008. And I just felt like I had built up my skills enough that I was ready to put together this channel because I am here to help you in your process of self-transformation. So let's get into the reading. I know that I've taken a look at your chart, and I tried to keep the astrology sort of separate from the tarot, but I know that it comes into play so much. And I am aware that you guys have Jupiter going retrograde in your second house. So we are talking about themes around personal self-worth, how you value how you value other things in the world. Your third house has Saturn and Pluto, which I believe are both presently going retrograde or will be going retrograde pretty soon. And that's in your third house, siblings, communication. I consider that to be the house of marketing as well. So I kind of get this theme of like, how do you how do I say that? How do you navigate your sense of worth in such a way that you really? It's like every time I try to record, my dogs seem to want to go crazy. And as I was trying to get ready to do this particular video, it just seemed like there was like one barrier after another. And I don't know if that's what it feels like for you guys. And honestly, this is as authentic as my energy has been. So I'm going to keep going. This is what I'm looking to capture in this particular video. And I think that level of intimate authenticity is something that you guys can appreciate. So it's interesting that I don't see your cards moving too much, and that's a very interesting observation for me. So what I want to do really fast is I'm going to look at your chart. I'm going to go through a little brief sort of synopsis of what the transits are for you, and then let's see how the cards do coming back. So give me 1 second here. Yeah, you have Jupiter going retrograde. Granted, I'm looking at a chart for about June 9th. I could go back to the beginning of June, but I feel like that's a little bit more accurate portrayal come the new moon on the 3rd. So Jupiter's going retrograde in Sagittarius. That is your second house. That is your sense of self-worth. Asking for what you want. How do you value you? How do you perceive your sense of who you are? Are you getting what you're giving? Are things sort of reciprocal in that particular nature? I think you've been given a lot of opportunities to learn about that particular theme. In your third house, like I said, Saturn and Pluto will be going retrograde, and the South Node is there as well, which kind of casts, I don't know if maybe you're stepping into much more of a disciplinarian figure in relationship to any of siblings that you have, or just in the sense that you're taking control of how you communicate to the world. And perhaps you are being a little bit, I wouldn't say more forceful, but I think you're kind of drawing a line in the sand about what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. Your fourth house, things are quiet. I can't believe my dog is acting up this much. It's crazy. Okay. Oh, nice. Fourth house, quiet. Things are quiet at home. That's probably, I think anybody might interpret that as a good thing. Your fifth house, which is a sense of creative self-expression, the things that you love, talking about children. Neptune is there and Lilith is there. And I think those kind of subjects may be a little touchy for you. Give me 1 second, because I don't know how disruptive that is, and I don't know why my dogs are barking like that. So bear with me. Sorry about that. I don't know what they're barking at, but nobody's here. So let's see. I have to admit, I feel very on edge right now. I'm filming this. What is today? Today is, good, I can't see it. I think today's the 30th or the 31st. I don't remember. I literally don't even have a calendar in my office either. This is what I mean. This is the kind of energy today. And if this is what you guys are resonating with, be patient, find your center, use your breath. Okay, this one too. Back to your chart. Yes, fifth house. What you truly desire may be difficult to see and feel. Most importantly, might be difficult to feel for you. And I think you may be wanting to act on that because Mars is in Cancer, fellow water sign for you. And that kind of energy boasts a lot of the need to take action. I am tempted to say, watch how you communicate the things that you are most passionate about, and what you're desiring to create. Geminis have that's their gift, that's their ability is to communicate, and so in Gemini season you may feel the gift of gab, essentially, and so it may be very easy, but because that Lilith is placed in that particular house, it may come off as like assertive, aggressive, maybe defensive, maybe protective even. Your sixth house is in Aries, and that's where Chiron is, and so there's a sense of you needing to heal you at this particular time, and Chiron's going to be there for the next 5 years, so it's a major theme for you. There is a sense of health. Are you taking care of you? How are you taking care of you? And how does that perhaps even come up in the way that you, perhaps in your profession even. Uranus is transiting your seventh house of relationships, and I feel like it's not my place to apologize on behalf of the planets, but I can certainly understand how there is just this sort of erratic nature to your relationships. Like either people are acting out of hand, or people are just being removed from your life, and connections are being severed, and it doesn't, things like that don't really feel good. And I think early degree placements in Scorpio are already feeling that. The mid degree and the late degree placements probably don't yet feel that. They may feel that sense of the foundation is beginning to rock. And then in your eighth house, which is a house that you're very comfortable with, which is probably why I know a lot of Gemini and Scorpios that are friends, is where you get that you're very comfortable in the sense of intimacy, deep subject matter. You want that dark, ooey goodness, so to speak. And Venus is there, and it may make you feel a lot more sensual. It may make you feel, the word that comes to mind is somewhat promiscuous. You may be having a new sense of awareness about your own sexuality, with the sun being there as well. And just in general, that just may feel really sexy for you. Your ninth house, which is your hopes, your wishes, your sort of humanitarian efforts, the groups and communities that you participate in. Mercury is there. So I think things in terms of, it's not your career house, but if you spend a lot of time in a particular place, that's your community. So you could feel like there's a lot more communication at work. You may be able to communicate more effectively in that particular sense. And like I said, Mars is also in Cancer. And so I think you're probably feeling very ambitious about maybe projects that you want to put together, getting things done. And if you have been experiencing turmoil with your mother in particular, that's something that you'll still be working on for a while. So just no arguments. Try to avoid arguments if you can with that particular person. Okay, so the cards are coming out now. I'm going to switch back. And so that's what's in the stars. And I like to tell people the stars guide, but they don't bind. So if some of the things I've said resonate for you, fantastic. If they don't, that's okay. Your birth chart will reflect what is most influential for you. And this is a general reading, so I can't predict that for everyone. But if you'd like to have your birth chart read and interpreted, that's certainly something that you can find on my website. And let's see. Thank you. So I do get the sensation that your community, the people that you genuinely connect with, any group that you participate in, that ninth house is certainly showing up here with the star. And I kind of get the sensation like this is something that you wish for a really long time. And the energies that are coming to fruition at this particular point just feel like heartwarming is the sensation that's happening in my body. But I also see, I'm going to point this down so you can take a look at the cards. The star. Your intuition's on point. Like I said, your community, I just get this sensation that you're just in such a good place with them. And that's fantastic. That's wonderful. And maybe you have to follow your intuition about the people that are best for you. That may not be easily visible or felt, more importantly, for you. And I see that you've got your eye on the prize, and that I love to see that card. I think this is the first time this has come up through any of the readings, but I distinctly understand that the new moon is a very powerful time for you to begin to set your intentions for what you'd like to manifest. So for you specifically, and that's something that you would tell to anybody, like the new moon is when you start new projects, it's when you lay your intentions, but I specifically see that is a superiorly powerful time for you in particular. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I think that's really playing into, you may be getting what you want in other areas, but home and family and that sense of reciprocity and the support from your family, that may not be evident. But I think it's the way that you're looking at your situation. And I can see based on some of the other cards, I don't get this sense of reciprocity. Like maybe you don't feel like people are working with you in terms of your intimate family relationships, and that may feel a little discouraging. And I don't think that you want to feel that way, but that definitely relates to that Uranus transit in your 7th house for sure. And I see you, despite this issue with relationships, maybe your partner or your spouse isn't, maybe you guys just aren't on the same page at this particular point in time. And that's okay. You know, be patient with that particular process. Pentacles speak to patience for me. It's not a fast moving energy. It is something that is acquired through great effort, through great concentration, through great investment. You've got the 9 of chalices, 9 of cups here. That really speaks to feeling almost completely emotionally fulfilled, but there is something in particular that's missing. And if you're in a very celebratory phase, good for you. We could certainly clarify what it is that you are celebrating. And then I've got the 7 of Swords, which is like, I think you're in your head about maybe, I hate when I get like so vague. I use words like maybe, like, let me just say this like it is. I think you're in your head about your family situation and you feeling like you're missing out on something. I feel like those are your own demons that are getting in your head and ruining a good thing. And if you could begin to do a little self-reflection on that, I think you'll come to that particular sense of awareness about it, because then you've got the Ace of Swords. This is like a download from the universe. And because it's underneath the star, it kind of speaks to this intuitive download that brings you this new perspective on something, that gives you this new sense of thinking about a particular thing, which is a fantastic energy to have. And it is possible that it is about, because the next 2 cards are the 2 of Cups and the 9 of Wands in reverse. And you don't have to be so defensive about your relationships. You don't. I can clearly see that you've been hurt in the past. I get that. I do. And it's certainly destabilized your home. It's destabilized the efforts that you've had with those particular relationships. This is the 4 of Wands in reverse. An unstable foundation. And I think it's because you're in your head about this particular relationship. So we've got the 4 of Wands, followed by the 3 of Wands in reverse. I don't think you know what you want to manifest. I don't think you know what's in your heart. And that speaks to that Neptunian energy being in your 5th house. And that's okay, because Neptune, yes, it has this illusionary quality. Yes, it's something you're not familiar with because you're more of a fixed sign. And Neptune feels very comfortable in Pisces. It's that mutable, imaginary, daydreamy kind of quality. And that is probably too wishy-washy for you. And it's hard to see where to sort of stake your claim in the situation. And that may make you feel like you should just be giving up or that you should be surrendering. But don't do that. Don't do that, because right at the very end, there's this 6 of Cups, and it speaks to a reunion. And so there's some type of harmony that is making its way to you, because it's one of the last cards that was pulled. It is very possible that will be at the end, towards the end, maybe 3rd or 4th week of June. So I want to pull some clarifiers, because I want to be sure that I'm understanding. Okay. And could I have a clarifier for the 6 of chalices, please? Okay. What I see, what I pulled, is the 5 of Pentacles, and I was clarifying the situation between the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 9 of Cups. I get really strong sensation. Like you just want things to be good in terms of those relationships. Like you were in such a good place, I think, with, I keep seeing this partnership with two people. There's two people in the background. Let me show you. There's two people in the background here wrapped up in this beautiful red blanket. Two of Cups indicates, you know, this other person, this other one-on-one type dynamic. The Five of Pentacles, did something happen and somebody left you out in the cold? Did you do this to you? This lightning bolt reminds me of the Tower card, and the Tower card is that Uranus energy, and that is Uranus is in your 7th house of partnerships. It's like there is work about what you think you deserve that has to be done here, because it's affecting your ability to believe that you can have what you want. And it may also be coming through in other places. Like, okay, so maybe your marriage is having a difficult time, because we also pulled the Hierophant in reverse, and maybe people aren't necessarily, you know, your peers or coworkers or those people in your groups and communities, they're not necessarily meeting you equivocally. And so you're kind of like, is it me? You're in your head about, is it me? Is it me? Is this what I really deserve? You know, I give so much, or I'm very particular about what I give. And it's, you know, this Uranus energy is making you look at what you give, And to clarify, the Six of Cups is the Two of Wands in reverse. And it's like, you want to manifest this. You want to manifest this, but I think that you don't believe that you can. And what I say about the cards is, if it's on the table, whether it's upright or reversed, it doesn't matter. The energies are still available to you. You can absolutely manifest this. I get this place of, if I feel unconfident, I can't manifest. And the truth is that you're still manifesting whether you feel unconfident or not. You're just manifesting more things that make you feel unconfident. But the availability of a harmonious reunion, a time where things, I think you just need to hold out. I want to tell you to be patient. You don't need to get in your head. You don't need to be defensive about the things that you're doing. Whatever shakeup's already happened has removed you from that fixed place that you're traditionally in. And what I would tell you is to find your own sense of balance, because that's what the twos always represent, is finding a place of balance. Find your center. And as I proceed into this reading, it's not because I wanted it. I will say that as somebody who is, I'm going to leave that upright. As someone who is highly empathetic. There's no other way to say that. Highly empathetic. I didn't anticipate being able to pick up so readily the energies from the cards. I know I can do it in a one-on-one reading with a person, but I've always attributed that energy to being with another person. I didn't know that that was going to happen by doing and reading the cards this way, but it's evident. Let's put it that way. And as I go through this particular reading, I feel closer to my center, and I'm a Libra. So the sensation of being off center and the sensation of being in center are so clear to me. Not that I maintain my balance at all times, but I know what balance is. I know exactly what that sensation is. And so I'm always able to have some type of marker to see how far away I am from that particular place. And as we do this reading, the more I'm coming into the sensation of reaching a type of acceptance about something. But So that's your reading. You know, the end of the month is looking like, you know, you could come back to some relationships that are circling back, and you have the ability to manifest what it is that you want if you believe that you have the power to do so. And you're the only one that can give you that kind of power. And it doesn't, you know, if you're looking to know that kind of power by looking for it externally, that's not the way. That's not the way. The cultivation of that experience happens within and then begins to manifest slowly outside of you. So I'm going to pull an oracle card. Now, it's not an oracle deck. This is the Osho Zen Tarot. I am new to this particular deck, and because I don't know it, I am using it like an oracle deck. And so, oh, we pulled 2 cards. We have 7 politics and 2 possibilities. So I'm going to read 7 politics first. Let's see what this one is. That's me humming, by the way, sorry. Okay, 7 of Clouds is politics, 130. I really like this deck, and I got it for me and me alone, and it's okay because I'm totally sharing it with you, but I won't use this one in one-on-one readings. Like, this deck is purely just for me. But it's awesome because it's got all these wonderful Buddhist and sort of Taoist principles, and I just really like that. So, do you recognize this man? All but the most innocent and sincere of us have a politician lurking somewhere in our minds. In fact, the mind is political. Its very nature is to plan and scheme and try to manipulate situations. Wink, wink, that's 7 of Swords, manipulate situations and people so that it can get what it wants. Here, the mind is represented by the snake, covered with clouds and speaking with a forked tongue. But the important thing to realize about this card is that both faces are false. The sweet, innocent, trust me face is a mask. And the evil, toxic, I'll have my way with you face is a mask too. Politicians don't have real faces. The whole game is a lie. Take a good look at yourself to see if you have been playing this game. Okay. What you see might be painful, but it's not as painful as continuing to play. It doesn't serve anybody's interests in the end, least of all yours. Whatever you might achieve in this way will just turn to dust in your hands. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll leave that at that, and you can interpret it as you see fit for you. Then 2 possibilities, which I believe is 2 of Wands, which was that last card that was pulled to clarify. So. Try to keep this up. The eagle has an overview of all the possibilities contained in the landscape below as he flies freely, naturally, and effortlessly through the sky. He is really in his domain, very grand and self-contained. This card indicates that you are at a point where a world of possibilities is open to you. Because you've grown more loving towards yourself, more self-contained, you can work easily with others because you are relaxed and at ease. You can recognize possibilities as they present themselves, sometimes even before others can see them. Because you're in tune with your own nature, you understand that existence is providing you with exactly what you need. Enjoy the flight and celebrate all the varied wonders of the landscape spread before you. Don't play games with you. Don't play games with other people. It will throw you off your center. You're playing games with other people because you don't value yourself in a particular way. And yet somehow we come back to this wonderful position of possibility, perspective, and harmony. So let all the energies work themselves out. Okay. Be pliable. Don't be your fixed normal energy. allow things to transmute themselves as the energy progresses throughout the month, and you will end up in a really great place, a place of possibility. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please do like, share, subscribe. I am looking to grow the channel, and I want to connect with you. So make sure you comment below where you're from, and I look forward to mid-June, because I'll also be doing mid-June readings, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.